The voting process for the 2020 presidential election has become, well, complicated. With COVID-19 still going strong, waiting in long lines to touch the same screens as countless others is less than ideal. And mail-in voting comes with its own risks. We're not talking about fraud, despite President Trump's fears on the matter.
If I see tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated, I can't go along with that.
If you read any of the many academic studies on mail-in voter fraud, you'd quickly realize it's not common, like, at all. Loyola Law School tracked over 1 billion votes over a 14-year period and found only 31 credible incidents of mail-in voter impersonation. That's 0.0000031% of votes. On top of that, the George W. Bush administration led a 5-year investigation on mail-in voter fraud and found only 86 criminal convictions, most of which were people filling out paperwork incorrectly or misunderstanding eligibility rules. And in 2014, Iowa's Republican Secretary of State, Matt Schultz, led a 2-year investigation into voter fraud and found only 27 criminal charges, most of which were, again, technical errors. President Trump even started a White House commission to investigate voter fraud of all types, but disbanded it after they reported no evidence. We could go on, but we'll spare you. In short, there's currently no evidence of widespread mail-in voting fraud. All that being said, mail-in voting isn't without its flaws. Widespread voting by mail has gained a lot of traction since the start of COVID. In the presidential primaries since mid-March, mail-in voting has increased 10 times the usual rate. With a lot of voters switching to absentee ballots in such a short time frame, many states are understandably experiencing growing pains, with the U.S. Postal Service bearing the brunt of it. The Postal Service, which is self-funded, has been struggling financially for years and is seeking billions of dollars in aid from Congress, which has fallen on deaf ears. President Trump appointed a new Postmaster General, Louis DeJoy, who implemented some new policies which eliminate postal workers' ability to work overtime, limit the number of mail trucks, and remove hundreds of sorting machines from postal facilities, all of which slow down the distribution of mail significantly ahead of a presidential election. In July, the Postal Service sent a letter to 46 states and Washington, D.C., warning that it could not guarantee they could handle all the absentee votes in time for them to be delivered and counted in the election. After some pushback from Democrats, DeJoy halted further initiatives but kept the current ones in place, weakening the Postal Service heading into November. So mail-in voting is being challenged. And not only that, there are some major ways the ballot counting can fall through the cracks. Mail always has the potential to get lost or delivered too late. This is exacerbated when, say, millions are casting their votes around the same time. The Harvard Data Science Review quantified how much riskier it is to vote by mail than to vote in person. It depends on the state, but the risk of not having your mail-in ballot counted is about 4.2%. So the biggest risk when it comes to voting by mail is your vote not even being counted. And that risk is only about 4% higher than if you vote in person. If voting by mail was fraudulent, we wouldn't have been using it for the past 200 years. And because it's been rising in popularity over the last few elections, states have been establishing strong safeguards against mail-in voting fraud. States conduct signature verification by election officials trained by experts, track ballots using barcodes unique to each voter, and implement 24-hour surveillance on ballot drop boxes. Whether you vote in person or by mail, you want to make sure your vote is counted. So make a plan, vote early, and, as a plus, protect your mailman at all costs. Hi, I'm Lexi from Anthem. This is the second video in a 3-part series on mail-in voting. Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you want to be notified when the last episode drops.